Right. Namaskar and a very warm welcome to everyone joined in today on our 47th Know Your Species, Know Your Zoo talk. This talk is being organized by the Central Zoo Authority, New Delhi, as part of the ongoing Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The Mahotsav is a 75-week-long celebration to commemorate 75 years of India's independence, which falls on the 15th of August 2022. The Central Zoo Authority is taking the celebration forward through a massive outreach campaign entitled Conservation to Coexistence, The People Connect. Under the helm of this campaign, we will be showcasing 75 conservation priority species and 75 zoos, highlighting one species and one zoo each week. We're currently in week 47 of this celebration with the Bengal Slow Loris as the species in focus and the Nehru Park Ka Mini Zoo Meghalaya as the zoo in focus. So joined in today to speak to us on the species is Dr. Navajit Das. Dr. Navajit is the assistant professor from the Department of Zoology in BH College, Assam. He is also an adjunct researcher at the Oxford Brookes University and is associated with the Primate Research Center from Northeast India. Dr. Navajit has done his doctorate on the ecology and behavior of the Bengal slow loris, which has also been the first ever long-term study done which documents this nocturnal primate in the wild. Throughout his career, Dr. Navajit has received various accolades and fellowships, namely the Miriam Rotman's internship from the University of Cambridge and the International Visiting Research Scholarship from the Oxford Brookes University. He's also a member of the IUCN SSC Primate Specialist Group and will speak to us today more on the species in focus and its conservation status in India. So over to you, sir. So you'll have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. So, good evening, everybody. I'm going to my slide here. Visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So, Bengal slow loris conservation in India. I completed about this species for my PhD degree, which one is the first of the long-term studies in this area about the Bengal slow loris. So, before going to the, as it is a popular talk, we have to know what is primate. So, there are approximately 200 species of non-human primates, and the most important characteristics of their fur or body hair, they have the opposite thumb, prehensile hand and feet, and increased brain size. Moreover, primates have a flexible hand and feet that they move around very freely in the arboreal. Then they have a very stereoscopic vision and they are very social. So global distribution of primates. So here are the rare spot. These are the countries where only primates are found. Another north and extreme south, there is no primate species. And India and Asian within this area. So as groups, primates are mainly divided into three groups. One is the prosimian. That's all loris species are here. Another is a monkey. Another is apes and humans. So this is the prosimian primate or nocturnal primate. These are the commonly called monkey, and these are the apes. And we are human also including these apes. So India is a very primate diversity country. India have 23 species of primate, 10 species of macaques, 10 species of langurs, 1 species of gibbon, that means ape, and 2 species of loris. One is slender and another is Bengal slow loris. So out of 23 species in India, 12 species found in our part, that is the northeastern part of India. So this is the region. It's a very peculiar zone. These are the 12 species found in Northeast India, 7 macaque species, 3 langur species, 1 gibbon, and one is the Bengal slow loris. So two types of loris found in India. One is the slender loris, another is the slow loris. Slender loris mainly found in southeast region of India, and the Bengal slow loris found in northeastern part. So the genus Nycticebus, that is their scientific name, Nycticebus bengalensis. This particular genus now has 9 slow loris species, and they are all are found in South and Southeast Asia. These all 9 species are now extremely endangered. So 100% of slow loris species are threatened with extinction now. So these are the 9 species: bengalensis, kakang, pygmaeus, javanicus, menagensis, benaganas, borneus, cayenne, and hilary. So within these 9 species, 2 are very critically endangered, and our Bengal soloris is also an endangered species. Previously, it was vulnerable, but after 2020 IUCN record, it is considered as endangered species. So found exclusively in this part of India and very endemic to Southeast Asia. So this is their distribution map. So it includes almost 9 countries. And here is Assam or the northeastern part, the extreme part of their distribution area. So this Bengal slow is only found in northeastern part of India, not any other part. So conservation of loris in India mainly centered on slender loris, although first slow loris, Bengal slow loris, were found in 1920 in Changpang. It is now Naga Hills. Now it's known as Nagaland. So this is the Changpang where it is 1920 their first record. Previously, Bengal slow loris was before 2007 it was data deficient. Then in 2008 it is considered as vulnerable. Now 2020 it is endangered, and from CITES 2007 it is Appendix 1 species. And in Indian Wildlife Protection Act as per 1972, it enjoys the highest conservation status just like a tiger. So it is a Schedule 1 species as per Indian Wildlife Protection Act. So it's a completely nocturnal. So it's a nocturnal prosimian primate species. And more interestingly, it is the genus Nycticebus only venomous primate group. It is most important characters. The Loris species or Nycticebus bengalensis is a venomous primate. They have a venom. So these 7 states in Northeast India, within this area, Loris are fungal Loris are found, and it's also covering 9 countries. That means widest ranging among all Loris species. So Northeastern India, Laos, Bhutan, Cambodia, Southern China, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. These are the 9 countries where Bengal slow loris are found. The Bengal slow loris scientific name Nycticebus bengalensis. The Nycticebus, which means night monkey. They are completely nocturnal. They sleep during the daytime, curled up in hollow trees, crevices, or simply along a branch. And their hind feet is so strong that it often gathers food hanging upside down using its front paws to capture and hold prey. Even they sleep on that position also. So their hind leg feet is very strong due to the very strong muscle as well as good blood supply here. There are also 9 countries found. Normally they climb slowly through the tree, grasping branching, and they are well developed arms. However, they are capable of moving very quickly when there is a threat. Their diet consists mainly of exudates, gums of plants, and sometimes feed insects, bird eggs, small vertebrates such as geckos and trees, and their lifespan is about 14 to 26 years. They are very small size, just like our domestic cat, approximately 2 kg of weight, and size ranges from 21 to 38 centimeter. They have a very short, thick fur found in variety of colors, mostly reddish brown with white or gray undertone. They have a very powerful jaws and sharp and carnivorous teeth. And one of the most interesting that ways I have already mentioned that they have a toxin producing gland located on their inner elbow. So they are venomous. So limited information of Bengal slow loris. Widest geographic range among all 9 species of slow loris. Each have large morphological variation indicates additional taxa in each part of the country. It is very poorly researched, especially in the wild. Yes, there is lots of research in zoos, but in wild condition very low researched. In India, very few ecological works or distribution studies have been done. First one done by Chaudhary, Anaruddin Chaudhary sir, that is 1992, then A.C. Gupta sir, 2001, Radhakrishnan China, 2004, and last recently completed 2009 and 12 by me. Limited information is the main hindrance to develop any conservation strategy in India and indeed throughout its distribution range within the 9 countries. We have done a survey of Bengal loris, and our survey data are part of our long-term ecological works on Bengal loris in Northeast India. We have completed 16 protected areas for the loris survey within Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. These are the name of the 16 protected areas from Manas up to the Namdapha. This Namdapha is Arunachal, then Dibrusoika, Sakrasila, Bolnodi, Amsang, Lauka. It's all protected areas in Assam that we have completed slow survey. These are the named particular areas where we have done our survey. And method is we use Reiki survey with line transect method. We have completed our survey in 2 phases. One from March 2009 to May 2010. Then again we started 2013 to January 2014. We all covered the area mostly on foot and sometimes by vehicles. Selected 2 transect per night. One is the early night, another is the middle night. And 1 kilometer per hour speed. Walking speed must be 1 hour, 1 kilometer per hour by only 3 or 4 individuals, not so big a team. Headlamp used for eye sign detection. That is the only methods of loris sighting. So we have to use the headlamp for loris sighting. Index of relative abundance used for loris encounter rate or sighting per kilometer for comparison with other studies. And all transit length measured with GPS. We use our headlamp. In light, the loris eye will be just like this one, very orange, bright color. And in night, by shining this eye, we can confirm that is a loris. The result is in phase 1, we have covered almost 370 kilometers over 99 full and 28 partial nights, and only 22% survey nights were loris encounter, very small. Recorded 22 individuals in 9 protected areas of Assam and 3 individuals from Arunachal Pradesh. That is total 25 Bengal loris. And we have abundance estimated of loris calculated was 0.06 to 0.2 individual per kilometer only. Then come to the phase 2 that we have done only Namdapha National Park in that time. Covered 71 kilometer long transit over 26 full and 14 partial nights. Recorded 30 individuals in Namdapha National Park. An abundant estimate of loris was calculated 0.42 individual per kilometer. That is a very good in Namdapha. So in Assam, the highest abundance found in given wildlife sanctuary next to Bherazan, next Garampani and Nameri. An abundance of Bengal loris for 15 kilometer, only 15 kilometer effort in Namdapha National Park of first phase of study, that is 0.2 loris per kilometer. That is the first phase 1 result. And phase 2 result is abundance of Bengal loris in Namdapha National Park, that is 0.42 loris per kilometer. This is the result of our survey result. And these are the complete section distance covered. How many distance we have covered in Manas National Park? We have covered 39 kilometer, sighting only 3. Then Nameri 21, Dibru-Soika 23.5. There is no sighting in Sagrasila, Laukwa, Burasapuri. Only Boradan Verzan 18 kilometer transit. and 3 sighting. Then most important is gibbon wildlife sanctuary 38 kilometer transit and 7 sighting. Then all together we have completed 441 kilometer long transit, including phase 1 and phase 2, and we have encountered all 55 loris sighting. So this range is 0.06 to 0.42 loris per kilometer. So average sighting encounter distance from transit was 15 meters. Is 3 to 27 range. Average sighting encounter distance from transit route to the distance of the animal is 15. And average height is 12 meter from ground to the tree. 12 meter average height that we have found the loris, most of the lorises. Feeding behavior at first detection, once in Nameri National Park, 2 in Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary, and 7 times in Namdapha National Park, Arunachal. When we first were sighting the loris with their eye sign, we have said that they feed or eat something. That is their feeding behavior at first sighting or first detection. All habitat types, the Bengal slow loris have been recorded in tropical evergreen forest, tropical semi-evergreen forest, subtropical evergreen forest, temperate broadleaf forest, and Assam Valley tropical wet evergreen forest. And as per our survey, each altitudinal distribution is range in between 90 to 2,500 meter. 90 meter is recorded in Assam and 2,500 meter recorded in Arunachal Pradesh in Namdapha National Park. Maximum recorded loris are from below 200 meter. So we have recorded maximum loris below 200 meter altitudinal distribution. During survey, we have monitored the threat levels. Lauka Wildlife Sanctuary A 4 plus, then Burasapori A 4 plus. The extensive non-timber forest production and firewood extraction encroachment here. Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary is A plus. Firewood extraction there, small size area surrounded by tea garden. So these are the threat levels. Arbitrary scale 0 nil A low A double plus medium etc etc. And this is the SART abundance estimation of Bengalensis via field observation in all Southeast Asia. So this all survey result is from the Southeast Asia, and our survey combined Northeast India is abundance kilometer is 0.06 to 0.042. This survey. Previously in last Ladakh is now they have done 0.03 to 0.33 abundance per kilometer. So these are the rate in Southeast Asian survey result. So far, this survey has a two interesting result. First ever sighting of Bengal slow loris in Namdapha National Park, and first ever sighting of Bengal slow loris outside its present distribution range. In extreme northeast, there is a Sirang Reserve Forest. Now it is Raimana National Park in Indo-Bhutan border. So this is about the first two records. There is a first ever sighting in Nameri as well as first ever sighting in Chirang Reserve Forest. So the feeding preference of Bengal slow loris. Feeding, I have divided into two categories, is winter feeding and summer feeding, as well as the food items that is divided into 6 categories: exudate, barks, fruits, nectar, invertebrate, and tender leaves. So during winter, I have found 85.27% they feed mainly exudates. Similarly, in summer season, they also prefer exudate 76.47. Exudate means the plant shape. There are some plants where each plant is injured, there is some sap will be come out from that particular area. They are the main food for the Bengal slow loris. Moreover, they use bark, sometimes fruits, nectar, invertebrates very low percentage, as usual sometimes they use tender leaves, but the main food is their exudates. The feeding percentage on different plants in winter. So I have recorded plant name also, which plant they mainly considered for the exudate feeding. So it is Thermonelia shibula. In our area, it is known as silica tree. So they mainly use silica tree for the exudate feeding. So this is the winter section. In summer, they also prefer mainly Cibula tree, Terminalia cibula, which they mainly preferred for the exudate feeding. So winter and summer, total exudate feeding in winter 85.27 and summer 76.47. So mainly they feed the exudates. In winter they use 13 plants, in summer they use 11 plants. Interestingly, this plant which they mainly use, these plants, Terminal cibula or Terminal origina, Mesoferra, Petical encephalia, Ficus hispera, and the Lancifolia, these five plants have some of medicinal value also. Just like Terminal origina, used for both prevention and treatment of heart disease, including angina. Then Terminal cibula used for digestive and used for bleeding programs, extract used for treatment of hepatitis. Similarly, Spondia spinata, which is known as commonly amora, have antifungal properties. Mesoferra have a fresh flower use as a cure for excessive respiratory perception, excessive thirst, etc. So the plant mainly they used by Loris for the exudate feeding. These are also have some medicinal values. So this is an interesting point. Now come to a Little Fireplace project. It's an international project launched by Oxford Group University in Indonesia, which motto is to research about loris, education, and empowerment. And mainly they concentrate on the Zaman loris, which are the critically endangered. And I'm very, and I'm also a member of this team from 2014 till now. So we have made some video. It's not playing. Now, during that Little Firefox project, I have already told that loris as a venomous primate and how we collect the venom from the loris for the experiment of the for analysis. So here a very short clipping of video. And Loris-Terrestial walking. Sometimes loris may walk in ground also. Why they have to walk in ground? So this is a very short video also prepared by our Little Fireplace project. So you can go to the drma.org on Little Fireplace Project's YouTube channel for more details about their behavior and present studies. Then threats to slow release in Northeast India. So two types of threats mainly. One is the genetical and another ecological, and the most important threat is the anthropogenic threat. Genetical threats, that means in Northeast India, only species of prosimian primates of Northeast India, and we have a very small number of population in isolated forest areas. So their gene may be endangered. Then ecological threats, one is the habitat loss, the seasonal nutritional stress during the winter season, lacks of nutritional plants may threats and habitat fragmentation, increasingly of the high resource density patches. And last one is the anthropogenic threats, which is the main threats in all loris dominating areas or loris habitats. So mainly habitat destruction and selective logging and fragmentation of habitat by dams, roads, etc. This fragmentation by agriculture, sometimes power line and sometimes dam is all created by humans or ourselves. Similarly, some railway lines may cross in the protected areas, tree plantation within the protected areas, and big roads within the protected areas may hamper their habitat. And most important is zoom cultivation or slash or barn cultivation in hilly areas of Northeast India, which is a drastic changes our ecology day by day. And important is loris keel for medicinal use and traditional beliefs throughout northeastern India, mainly in hilly areas. The hunt is for meat or sometimes it's commercial hunting. So this is the main reason for decreasing number of lorises in Northeast India. It's a very popular source of pet in some areas, and where it take to is inappropriate, unscientific practice of keeping in captivity during the pet choice or pet. Substantial number of soldiers are rescued every year in Northeast India, but lack of basic infrastructure and trained manpower for rehabilitation, they are not properly treated. So you see the hair is there where the cling or were used by ropes to hold this animal in the in their home. After rescued, it is very difficult to go to the own position or to rescue some other areas. This own unable to heal very properly as there is no trained manpower for loris, husbandry manual, etc. One is the illegal Bengal Slow trade. So these are the two routes goes to the Myanmar. So they extract loris or other wildlife from these areas, go to the Assam, Arunachal via Myanmar to China, and another is these are the routes from the Meghalaya and Tripura goes to the Bangladesh. Bengal Loris eye is a popular source of local lilies. All local lilies in here is used for Loris eyes for some work beliefs. And These are the photographs taken by Austin Bush from Mongla, a town of a city of Western China and very close to the Myanmar border. So here, loris extracted from the northeastern part of India or any other region, they openly kill them. They also hang this type in roadside for the selling, as well as they use their hands for keyring. So these are the main reason, and this is the most important trade link. Then conservation scenario in India, as conservation is needs research as well as education and awareness. In research, generation of baseline information on the status of Bengal loris, ecology and behavior, as well as habitat and their threats. It should be studied. Education and awareness, some slideshow come lectures can be organized, participatory activities, films, distribution of educational materials towards the forest department, district administration of students, teacher, green village areas, etc. etc. So these are the main areas where we have to go. And private research center, as our effort, we have done this tourist conservation education. We have targeted school students, college students, green villagers, school teachers, as well as forest department personnel. These are some photographs of our conservation education awareness campaign. These are the college students. These are the college students that we have organized the camp, best camp, basic inside camp for the awareness program and educational awareness campaign for forest development process. So slow loris is still now they are writing as Nitish Kekang, but it is should be Bengalansis. So this is a sign from a forest department of Northeast Indian state, one of the state. They also till now they use as a kokang. They need some types of awareness campaign for the forest development personnel. That's why we have organized one training program in the forest personnel, forest development personnel for loris awareness, as well as for school students, some field visit. We have encouraged the field visit to see the study site or study areas where loris are found. At college levels, with the help of WWF of Assam, we have organized so many awareness campaign or in college level students. We have already campaign for the village people, education and awareness campaign in village level, as well as some we publish some sticker as well as handout of materials for the lorry, all about the lorries, very common. Then what to be next? After that, we have to know the initiation of multidimensional approaches of conservation in different Bengal slow habitat in India. We have to now go through multidimensional approaches like research priority, maybe population assessment every 10 years, ecological studies of Bengal slow landscape conservation initiative, habitat quality assessment, habitat mapping, genetic study, parasitology study, and as well as most important is threat assessment. So these have to be done in near future. Education and awareness is the most important from school to college, university. Informal meeting may be done with village or community members. Well, that's like we have done already. And the training for the forest staff, teachers, students, NGO workers, and researchers, as well as advocacy, we can include our syllabus about the loris or the nocturnal primates. That's why these are the these are the things we have to do for the future conservation of this night monkey or the Bengal loris. So here is don't let me finish. So I thanks to my college, BS College, Guwahati University, Primate Research Center, Oxford Group University, Little Fireflies Project, as well as Forest Department of Northeast India. Thanks for.
Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed presentation on the ecology and the kind of work that you've done in such a short span. You've explained a lot. We will take question answers for this session after the zoo talk. So we now move on to the New Year Zoo section for today's talk. So joining today to speak to us on the zoo is Dr. Sengbat Momin, who's the veterinary officer at the Nehru Park Zoo, Nehru Park Kamini Zoo, Tura, Meghalaya. So Dr. Momin is a veterinarian by training, and apart from the zoo, he's also he's also involved with the management of animal welfare at the Danakgre National Park. So, sir, I will present for you. Can you hear me? Dr. Momin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. You're audible now, sir. So I'm presenting for you. So just let me
Yes.
know when I change the slide.
Okay. So I would like to thank our host for letting me speak a few words on our zoo. So I would like to add that I have been reverted back to my parent department on the 18th of this month. So I think this will be my last interaction with CZA as a zoo, as a wildlife veterinarian. So I wish you all the best. So uh, let me talk a little bit about our zoo. Uh, as a part of our I mean, 75th years of India's independence, our zoo has also been selected as a zoo for providing awareness to the people. So our zoo, Nehru Park Mini Zoo, or now as it has been classified as a small zoo, is located at a distance of around 7 kilometers from the heart of town. It is located in Danakgre locality, and it is the only zoo in Garo Hills region and the second in Meghalaya. It was initially started by the district administration and was afterwards transferred to the forest department to the territorial division. During that time, there was no wildlife division and social forestry division, so it was looked after by the territorial division. So after when uh, the territorial division was bifurcated into social forestry and wildlife, it was taken up by the wildlife division, and as such, it was during that time it was in the DC Park area. So during that time, it was felt that the people needed entertainment or for amusement, and so it was only for that purpose this zoo was created. But afterwards, as time progressed, uh, need was felt that a larger area is to be uh, provided for the animals. So the zoo was shifted to the present location, which is in Danakgre, and it has been functioning there since then. So on 2005, it was granted a recognition by the CZA as a recognized zoo. And I would like to change the slide, please. Uh, I would like to narrate some of the visions of the zoo. The Tura mini zoo was basically started for recreation purposes only. However, with time, the need to protect and conserve the global biodiversity and wildlife was realized. Therefore, uh, it was set up with the following vision. Number a scientific institution, next please, engaged in animal welfare research, conservation, education, and sustainability. This is the Nehru bus, as our the name of our zoo is Nehru Park, so a Nehru bus is present there. And number B, business practices being efficient, focused, productive, with close attention paid to planning, ecological sound design, and pollution-free environment. Number C, outstanding value for money for all who visit the zoo, providing fun, entertainment, and learning. Next slide, please. This is the deer enclosure. Uh, the mission of the zoo is to act as a rescue center by receiving and keeping orphaned, seized, rescued, and injured animals. Number B, develop amongst the visitors an understanding about the ecological linkages with life-supporting processes of nature and the need for keeping them intact by adopting sustainable lifestyles and living in harmony with nature. Next slide, please. This is the lesser hornbill. So Number D, the mission of the zoo, complement the natural efforts in conservation of wildlife through planned coordinated conservation breeding of endangered wild animal species of the region. I would like to request the host to kindly change the slides slowly as I read along. This is the place section of the zoo, children's place section. And number C of the mission, number E of the mission, enhancing the role of the zoo in conservation of wildlife through collaborative research, aiming at attaining management skill for in situ population and carrying out advocacy for protecting the wild animals and their natural habitat. Change the slide, please. This is the very rare Nepenthes phasiana. That is the insectivorous plant. It is also growing very well in the zoo. So the zoo is the officer in charge of the zoo is the DFO. That is he is the divisional head. So and he is also the director. He is also the director of Danakgre National Park also. Presently, we have one veterinary officer and one park ranger, one animal attendant, two gatemen, three park mali, and rest are RCWs, that is the masteral casual workers. Next slide, please. This is also the play section. Presently, we are not doing any conservation breeding programs. All our animals previously were rescued animals. So now we are not doing any exchange programs also. Next slide, please. These are some of the sites of the zoo. We have very less collection. Our collection consists of around 22 inmates. We have 4 mammals, three species of birds, 3 species of reptiles, and some the same raptors. Next slide, please. This is the celebration of ozone layer that was conducted by the social forestry in our zoo. Next slide, please. An owl. Next slide, please. Some macaques. Next slide, please. Brownfish owl. Next slide, please. Again, the lesser hornbill. Next slide, please. This is the Burmese rock python. Next slide, please. A barking deer. Next slide, please. Again, a barking deer. This is the black soft-shelled turtle, Nilsonia nigricans. It is our prime attraction. Previously, it was declared as extinct in the wild, but I think it is still available in some parts of northeastern parts of India. Next slide, please. This is the serpent eagle. Next slide, please. Serpent eagle again. Next slide, please. This is the slow loris. Some of the slow loris which we have released back into the wild. This slow loris was seized from Williamnagar area. It is being released in Danakgre Community Reserve Forest. Next slide, please. This is also another slow loris. This is the same slow loris. Next slide, please. And this is another slow loris. This is being released back in Danakgre National Park. Next slide, please. I would like to request our host if some videos can be played, which I have sent to the
Yes, just
presentation.
a second, so let me try if that works. Dr. Mormon, would you, or is it over?
Yes, if I think it is over, so I would like to thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Mormon, for sharing a brief overview of the zoo. We will now take question and answers. So, Dr. Navajit, we will first take questions for the species. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So, sir, the first question for you is that the species is known to be venomous. Do other loris species in India also have similar evolutionary traits, or is there any research underway to understand this mechanism in other loris species, or any studies being done?
Yes, only the slow loris species, this all line species have this venom. In India, we have the others is slender loris. I think there is no venom in slender loris. Only the slow loris species, including this Bengal loris as well as all other 8 species, which is found in Southeast Asian region. And lots of works are till now in going on about the loris venom. Specifically in Little Fireflies project, they extracted the venom. I have shown the video, research it. Findings has just come out day by day.
Right. And so the next question for you is that are there any natural predators of the slow loris in the wild?
Yes, definitely the civets are the main natural predators.
Okay. All
Sometimes
right.
pythons also.
All right. Okay. And so the next question for you is that um, is the slow loris found in West Bengal? And if yes, where is it found? If it is found
There
in
is
that state.
as per IUCN's record, there is no distribution range in West Bengal, but in one paper article said they are in Jalpaiguri area of, there is the westernmost part of very close to our Loris distribution. There is the, I have mentioned in Chirang National Park, very close in the area. So maybe sometime travels up to the Jalpaiguri area also.
Right. All right, sir. And so the next question for you is that with the deeply, like you mentioned about the deeply, rooted belief in, the supernatural power and popularity of it in the illegal trade,
Yes.
what measures do you suggest can, be undertaken to safeguard this little known species?
In hilly areas, it's traditionally used as medicine because lack of medical facilities is the main hindrance for the use of these types of animals for curing the diseases. In our areas, some areas, there is no medical facilities. People have to cross or walk up to 7 days, 10 days to reach a good medical facility. That's why they generally depend on the traditional beliefs, traditional medicines, but it's not any other values.
Right. Okay, sir. All right. And so the next question for you is how effective have the awareness campaigns that you have hosted been in spreading advocacy and the conservation message for the species as such?
Yes,
Thanks.
people don't know about this species. That's the one thing. And whenever we go to our areas or study site or study areas, people say, yes, I have seen it in jungle. That's why otherwise they don't know about this species, how this species, what is the ecological role, why it is important. People don't know anything about it. So whenever we go to for awareness campaign about the loris, they see it in my laptops or books, but they sometimes see in their back forest also, very nearby. But people generally think they just roam around the night. It's a night queen sometimes they call us,
Okay.
but
All right.
they do not believe that it is a primate. They don't know even that it is primate. They simply know it is some other mammals like cat or like civet, just like.
Right, sir. So, and there's one more question from you for you. It says that so they're known to be venomous. Is there any known record or some study that has been says about their fatality in humans, like in terms of any conflict or
Yes,
anything?
yes, yes. It is very venomous. It is deeply bitten by loris to an human. There may be some anaphylactic shocks, and that's why it is very dangerous to handle loris.
Okay. All right, sir. So I think, sir, these were the questions for you regarding the slow Loris. So we now move on to questions for the zoo. So Dr. Momin, the first question for you is that so your zoo is the only zoo in the Garo Hills of Meghalaya. So what is like a popular attraction for the children or the visitors who come to visit the zoo?
So basically, our zoo is a very small zoo. We have very less collections. And people, especially, it is quite far from the zoo. So, and our zoo is not a revenue generating zoo. So the main attraction for them is the playthings. So the animal section is our zoo is placed in such a distinct terrain that you really have to climb down to go to the animal section. So old people, children, they hardly come down to the animal section. So uh, the main attraction, I think, will be the plaything.
Okay. And so the next question for you is that are there any long-term, future plans for the zoo that are there in place?
Yes, there are long-term future plans. Our zoo, the master plan for our zoo has been approved, but I think we are having difficulty in sourcing the funds for the zoo. So unless the financial situation of the zoo is distinct improve, I don't think we can progress on the master plan.
All right, sir. So I think questions for the zoo as well. Uh, so with this, we come to a conclusion for our 47th Know Your Species, Know Your Zoo talk. On behalf of CZD, I would like to thank both to Dr. Nabajit and to you, Dr. Momin, for taking time out of your schedule and joining us for this talk, which is, helping in furthering conservation awareness about these lesser known species and about the zoos as well. I would also like to thank the audience who have been patient with us throughout and have joined us for this talk, and would like to inform them that do tune in next week, next Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. for our week 48 week 48 Know Your Species, Know Your Zoo talk, which is on the Sangai and the Manipur Zoological Park. So do tune in for that talk as well. And Nehru Park, Meghalaya is continuing the outreach activities till the end of the week. So if you're in Meghalaya, do participate in the activities that they have planned. Thank you very much and namaskar.
Thank you.